June 15, 2025, marked a seismic shift for the Seattle Sounders and Major League Soccer. On this day, the city of Seattle became the epicenter of world football, as anticipation and excitement reached a fever pitch. The air was electric, and the sense of history in the making was impossible to ignore. This wasn't just another match. It was the Sounders' first step onto the global stage at the expanded FIFA Club World Cup. For the first time, the world's eyes were fixed on an MLS team, not just as participants, but as genuine contenders in a tournament that had long been dominated by football's traditional powerhouses. The city buzzed with anticipation, the energy stretching from the training ground to every corner of Seattle. Cafes, bars, and even office buildings were draped in green and blue, as locals and visitors alike shared in the pride of hosting such a monumental event. The Sounders' journey had become a rallying point for the entire community. For years, MLS had chased international respect. Now, the Sounders carried that ambition for an entire league. Every pass, every tackle, every goal was a statement, not just for Seattle, but for every club and supporter who had dreamed of this moment. Hosting the tournament on home soil made the moment even bigger. The city's streets were alive with color and sound, and the world's media descended on Seattle, eager to witness history unfold in a city known for its passion and resilience. The Sounders weren't just participants, they were hosts, representing North American soccer to the world. Their role was bigger than the 90 minutes on the pitch. They were ambassadors for a continent's footballing hopes and dreams. Fans and players alike felt the weight and privilege of the occasion. For the supporters, it was a culmination of years of loyalty and belief. For the players, it was a chance to etch their names into the annals of football history. This was the club's final frontier, a chance to prove they could compete with the world's best. The locker room was filled with nerves and excitement as the team prepared to step into the unknown and embrace the challenge ahead. The pressure was immense, but it was earned through years of grit and determination. Every setback, every triumph, every rainy training session had led to this moment. The Sounders had built a legacy on resilience, and now they would need every ounce of it. With Inter Miami and LAFC also in the tournament, Seattle's performance would be a litmus test for MLS's progress. The league's reputation was on the line, and every match was a chance to show how far American soccer had come. A strong showing could change global perceptions and attract new talent. Scouts, agents, and young players around the world were watching, wondering if MLS could truly become a destination for the world's best. As they prepared to face Botafogo, the Sounders knew they were playing for more than just 3 points. They were playing for the pride of their city, their league, and the entire North American soccer community. They were playing for pride, respect, and the future of soccer in their city. Young fans watched with wide eyes, dreaming of one day following in their heroes' footsteps. The stage was set for a new chapter in Seattle's storied legacy. The world was watching, and the Sounders were ready to rise to the occasion, determined to leave an indelible mark on the beautiful game. On this unforgettable night, Lumenfield was transformed into a true global amphitheater. The iconic stadium, usually a fortress for the Sounders, now pulsed with a unique energy as a sea of rave green mingled with Botafogos striking black and white. The air was thick with anticipation, and every seat seemed to vibrate with excitement as fans from both sides came together, united by their love for the beautiful game. The energy was absolutely electric. Fans knew this was more than just a match. It was their chance to show the world what Seattle soccer is all about, to put their city on the map in a way that transcended sport. The stadium buzzed with pride, and every cheer felt like a declaration of belonging. The legendary march to the match was louder and more passionate than ever before. Thousands of supporters, young and old, surged through the streets in a river of green and blue, their voices echoing off the city's buildings. It was a living, breathing display of unity and tradition, a ritual that connected generations of fans. Inside, the roar for the players was absolutely deafening. Every chant, every song, every beat of the drum echoed the city's pride and passion. The players could feel the energy surging from the stands, knowing they carried the hopes of an entire community. The fans became the 12th man, determined to create an intimidating atmosphere and lift their team to new heights. Their voices blended into a single, unstoppable force, making Lumenfield a fortress that night. For many, this match was a reward for years of unwavering support, a testament to the loyalty and passion that had built the club from the ground up. It was also a promise fulfilled by the club's ambition, a moment that fans had dreamed of for decades. Seeing the FIFA logos alongside the Sounders crest was almost surreal. It was a powerful symbol, a dream realized not just for the club, but for the entire Seattle soccer community. The world's eyes were finally on the Emerald City. As the teams lined up for the anthems, a wave of unity swept through the stadium. For a moment, rivalries faded and everyone stood together, proud to be part of something bigger than themselves. Win or lose, this was a celebration of Seattle's vibrant soccer culture and the diverse community that built it. The stands were filled with people from all walks of life, brought together by their shared love for the game. The fans weren't just spectators, they were part of history in the making. Every banner, every song, every selfie captured the spirit of a city united in celebration. Their passion and presence would be remembered for generations to come. Parents shared the moment with their children, passing down stories that would inspire future fans. This was the start of a new chapter for Seattle soccer, and everyone in Lumenfield could feel the weight and wonder of the occasion. The sense of history was palpable. For the first time, the world was truly watching Seattle. And as the lights shone down on Lumenfield, the city embraced its moment on the global stage, ready to inspire the next generation of dreamers. Coach Brian Schmetzer faced tough choices after 2 league losses. He brought in veteran Kim Keehee for defensive stability and started Danny Musovski up front for a more physical presence. The rest of the lineup featured trusted leaders, Stefan Frey in goal, Christian Roldan anchoring midfield, and Albert Rusnak as the creative spark. Injuries loomed, with Jordan Morris a major doubt, but Schmetzer trusted his veterans to rise to the occasion. The selection balanced experience with tactical adjustments for Botafogo's challenge. The 11 chosen carried the hopes of a city, ready to make history. This was Seattle's strongest hand for the world's biggest stage. The Sounders earned their Club World Cup spot by conquering the 2022 CONCACAF Champions Cup, a first for MLS. Their dominant win over Pumas UNAM was a watershed moment, punching their ticket to this global stage. Their opening opponent, Botafogo, Copa Libertadores champions and Brazilian defensive stalwarts. Botafogo's roster boasted familiar MLS faces and European experience, led by set-piece specialist alextelles. The Brazilians arrived in top form, ready to test Seattle's mettle. It was a classic North versus South America clash, a blank canvas for a new rivalry. The stakes pride, progress, and a place in global football history. The whistle blew, and Lumenfield erupted. Seattle pressed high, fueled by the crowd, while Botafogo calmly absorbed pressure and waited to counter. Roldan and Rusnak battled for midfield control, but Botafogo's organization stifled Seattle's attack. Musovski's early header flashed wide, showing the fine margins at this level. The match was physical, the officiating letting play flow. As the half wore on, Botafogo grew in confidence, with alextelles threatening from the left. Seattle's defense held firm, but the chess match was on. The first half ended with both teams showing quality, but Botafogo's clinical edge loomed. The breakthrough came from a set piece, Botafogo's specialty. After a yellow card to Noho, alextelles delivered a world-class cross. Jer Filho rose above the crowd, heading home with power and precision. The stadium fell silent. Botafogo's quality was undeniable. Seattle pushed for an equalizer but left themselves exposed. Botafogo countered ruthlessly. Vitino's cross found Igor Jesus, who buried a second header. 2 clinical moments, 2 devastating headers. Seattle's energy and emotion were undone by Botafogo's aerial dominance. The dream of a historic win faded, but the lesson was clear. At this level, small lapses are punished. The Sounders had been outclassed in the air, but not in spirit. The margin between glory and heartbreak was razor thin. Botafogo's experience made the difference. Before kickoff, excitement and honor filled the Sounders' locker room. The air was thick with anticipation, every player acutely aware of the magnitude of the moment. This wasn't just another match, it was a chance to etch their names into club history, to represent their city and their league on a global stage. Christian Roldan called it the biggest game in club history, a sentiment echoed by teammates. Conversations buzzed with nervous energy, as veterans offered words of encouragement and younger players soaked in the atmosphere, determined to rise to the occasion. Players knew they represented not just Seattle, but MLS and North America. The weight of expectation was heavy, but so was the sense of unity. They stood together, ready to show the world what they were capable of. Fans matched that energy, marching and chanting with hope and pride. The streets around the stadium pulsed with color and song, as supporters from all walks of life came together, united by their love for the Sounders. For many, the result was secondary to witnessing history and showing the world Seattle's passion. The stands were a sea of green and blue, every cheer and banner a testament to the city's unwavering support. After the final whistle, disappointment was clear, but so was perspective. Players and fans alike felt the sting of defeat, but also the pride of having come so far. Players applauded the fans, acknowledging Botafogo's class and vowing to learn from the experience. There was respect on both sides, and a sense that this was just one chapter in a much larger story. Online, supporters praised the team's effort and looked ahead with optimism. Social media buzzed with messages of encouragement, gratitude, and hope for the future. The consensus: this was a milestone, not a setback. The journey to this point had inspired a new generation of fans and players alike. The pride in reaching this stage outweighed the sting of defeat. For the Sounders and their supporters, this was proof that dreams could be realized and that the club belonged among the best. The atmosphere and unity would be remembered long after the scoreline faded. The echoes of the crowd, the shared moments of joy and heartbreak, would live on in the memories of all who witnessed them. Seattle had shown it belonged on the world stage. The team's journey had captured the imagination of fans far beyond the city limits. The journey was just beginning. With new lessons learned and a renewed sense of purpose, the Sounders looked ahead to future challenges. The city's spirit remained unbroken. Seattle's story, both on and off the pitch, was far from over, and its voice would only grow stronger. The loss to Botafogo was just the start. Group B was the tournament's group of death. Next up, Atletico Madrid, masters of defensive discipline under Diego Simeone. Then Paris Saint-Germain, reigning European champions stacked with global superstars. The Sounders faced a monumental challenge, needing results against two giants to advance. The pressure was immense, but so was the opportunity. These were the games players dream of, the ultimate test. Seattle entered as underdogs, but with a chance to prove they belonged. The scoreboard read 2-0, but the true impact of June 15th was far greater. Seattle's debut on the world stage was a breakthrough for the club, the city, and MLS. The experience set a new benchmark, showing what's required to compete at the highest level. Lumenfield's electric atmosphere and the fans' unwavering support made a global statement. The match inspired pride, unity, and ambition for the future. For MLS, it was a sign of progress and a call to keep raising the bar. The lessons learned will fuel the Sounders' next chapter. The memories created will last a lifetime. This was not an ending, but the start of a new era. Seattle had arrived, and the world was watching.